What's up, everybody? Welcome to the College Gamer Podcast, episode 15. I'm your host, Alex Tudor, or Colin, if you know me by my legal name. This week, we got three guests with us. We got Chris Harkins. How you doing, Chris?
Good, Alex. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
You got a birthday coming up, big boy. How you feel? Do you feel old?
Not just yet. This is my last weekend as a teenager.
It will hit you.
It will, yeah.
My last night as a teenager actually was slightly depressed for some reason. I was like, tomorrow I'm not going to be a teenager anymore.
Yeah. I'm feeling pretty good. I don't know. I don't feel different yet. Yeah. Next up, we got Houston Miller. He's joining us from last week. How you doing, Houston?
Nah, other than this weird...
I feel like you're getting it over. I think you're coming over.
I think I'm getting over it. I've been taking a lot of medication, so it's kind of helping me out.
Feeling a little lightheaded? Or are you feeling like your drinks are a little bit darker than usual?
You feel more intoxicated than you should.
Do you feel more? No. And then you heard the voice of him, ladies and gentlemen. That is Logan Sowers.
Obviously.
How you doing, Logan?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
Just doing well? Doing all right?
I'm kind of depressed because last night was Jay Leno's last night at the Tonight Show.
Yeah, I watched
it. And it was emotional.
I caught the highlights.
He's my favorite late night host.
Did the chin actually shed a tear?
It did.
He did this bit where he cleaned out his office and he brought out this witch doll that looked exactly like him, like the chin and everything. It was pretty funny.
It was funny. It was funny. Nobody likes Conan O'Brien, and I'll end with that.
I don't know. I like him.
Something about his hair. He looks too much like Donald Trump.
He's a funny guy. He plays. He does that little YouTube segment, or it might be on a show some nights. Video game section where he plays new games. He's I think he's called the Casual Gamer, or something like that. It's pretty funny. I thought it was pretty funny. Whatever. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new format going this week. We're going to test it out. We might keep it, we might not. We'll just see how this rolls. Essentially, what we're going to be doing is we each have two stories, each of the guests this week and myself. And we are going to take turns and talk about each story, and then elaborate on the story, talk about it more, whatever. Then we're going to move on to the next person and talk about their story, and so on and so forth. We'll see if this works. I'm going to go first. This is the news. Whatever. The first news story that I'm gonna be talking about this week is the Pokemon Bank is now officially live in the United States, which is awesome because Europe got it a day earlier and Japan's had it for about a month now. So
that's a first. It usually happens the other way around.
Yeah. Well, it was supposed to release right before Christmas, and it was delayed. It was released in Japan. But people were hacking the system, putting hacked Pokemon in there with fake stats and bad stuff, abusing the system.
Yes.
So they took it offline so they can kind of fix that. Now it's live. It's free until March 14th, and then after which you can download it for free, but it's an annual fee of $5 a year. So, annual fee of $5.
Most people won't have a problem with paying that.
It's essentially a program. It's an app that you can store your Pokemon on the cloud. And what you do is you go and you put your Pokemon from Black, White, Black 2, or White 2 on the cloud. And then on Pokemon X or Y, download them again, play with those Pokemon there. And then if they release, the next generation of Pokemon, put all your Pokemon back on the cloud, have them always. They're always stored on the cloud. And then put them back into that game. Give them to your kids if your kids want to carry on your... Hey, some people have been playing with the same Pokemon since the game first came out.
I mean, I play with the same Pokemon in every game I'm in. I always catch the exact same one.
Not catch. He literally... there's this guy that has a Ammonite. Is that what it is? The shell squid thing. Like the fossil Pokemon. Mm-hmm. He's had it since the original Pokemon days, like Red and Blue. I mean, he's traded it up. Same one, same name, everything. Just trades it up. And it's been 25
years.
5 years?
Is
20 years?
83.
No, not 83.
82?
No. Pokemon Red and Blue came out in 92. 91. So it's maybe 23 years old. So, I mean, hey, that's a long time to have the same Pokemon over and over and over.
Is it now unbeatable?
No, it's the same Pokemon, but I mean...
Level 99.
Yeah, they're max stats. Got like old Japanese mustache beard thing going on.
Also, if you are a 3DS X and Y player, if you get the service, you will get a free Celebi, which you cannot catch in the game, which is kind of cool. Celebi is a cool Pokemon. Mm-hmm. It's a fairy type. You get it at level 10. I started playing with it yesterday. It's a cool little Pokemon. Pokemon. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, you have until March 14th, if you're an X and Y player, to download this app. Next up, Chris.
Oh, hello.
What's your new story?
Off into space.
Yeah.
The first story that I really want to get out is the new details that have surfaced about the older 1886. It's new knowledge that the game will only run at 30 FPS and will not have any form of multiplayer. Now, there's been a lot of uproar about this. Obviously, having lower frames per second and no extra details such as multiplayer is a pretty negative aspect. But some people are arguing that you don't exactly need the aimed for 60 frames per second. And I get that, but it's like missing a multiplayer aspect is pretty hurtful. With that kind of game type, it's obviously some kind of Monster Hunter, and was a lot of multiplayer possibilities with that.
Like, what kind of multiplayer? Like, you're not talking about, like, the typical Call of Duty, get in there, somebody plays a monster, somebody plays
I'm talking about some kind of co-op, maybe a horde mode, kind of like zombies type thing.
But then again, you may not need that,
Well, I mean, I'm just saying it's a kind of possibility that is now impossible. It would have been nice to have the extra features.
There seems to be like a lot of games going that way.
Part of me wonders if they won't have a co-op feature. Like, technically, it's not a multiplayer mode. Because the way the question was phrased on Twitter, when the guy asked the question, it made it seem like, is there a standalone multiplayer feature, or will you have the opportunity to play as co-op? I think there will be a co-op mode. Because the way they're making it, if you read all the articles about it, and you read, you watch the trailer, the only trailer that's ever been shown, and you show the preview stuff. There's 4 characters. It makes sense that there might be co-op. That's story co-op. That's not multiplayer, though.
But
I think that. We don't know. We don't know a lot about that game.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that too. Is there's not much details on the game at all that we know for now.
Even if you read like the quotation marks in-depth preview, they're not in-depth. They're like very vague, stuff like that. A lot of the stuff, like journalists that have an opportunity to go view the actual game running, they're under a non-disclosure agreement. Yeah. They can't even talk about it. So I think at E3 this year we'll be hearing more about it.
And it looks great.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the 30 frames instead of the 60?
Are we currently playing? Well, I guess I'm currently playing at 30 frames a second.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Xbox.
I think I told this to Chris last night when he brought it up to me. Films are at 24 frames a second. And when people bump it up to 48 frames a second, it looks bad.
Yeah.
Right? This game is a cinematic game. I mean, it's a very... it's in wide letterbox format. That's how the game is going to be presented. So I think a more cinematic 30 frames per second is fine. It'll run good. It'll probably look a lot better than if they tried to boost it to 60.
I think as long as it looks fine, there's no problem. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But if it looks bad, if you're noticing that it's lacking, then obviously they should have done 60.
It's also not a Twitch shooter. It's not like Call of Duty. It's not like Battlefield. It's not... It's third person. It's... I don't know. It doesn't need 60.
No.
No. It wouldn't.
Chris, what's your argument towards 60 frames per second? Because I knew you were kind of distraught about the 60.
60 frames per second is just so smooth. It's so great. It's all part of this next generation gaming thing. It's something that most people would have expected to become standard in all games. And I feel like new games coming out that are next generation not carrying that 60 frames per second aspect is kind of making the whole feel of next gen gaming lag behind.
They did talk. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
But they
No,
did,
sure.
At E3, they did mention that all the games were going to run at 60 frames per second.
Or it has the potential.
Yeah, but they were making it sound like that it would be the standard.
And it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
and this has been one of the most awaited for games too.
For exclusive to the PS4.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, Chris has a point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they might
I
not
agree.
need it, but he does have a point.
I do agree that, I mean, it is kind of odd that it's not 60, because, I mean, that is what they're trying to go for. It just makes sense if they want it, if they think it looks better and runs better at 30, then
Why not? Push it?
why not, I mean, why not keep it at 30? I don't know. But also, the PS4 and the next gen, which is current gen, really, well, it's new. I mean, this is the first year that it's available. You're not going to get full 60 frames per second games, every single game, for another 2 or 3 years, when everybody understands the hardware and really gets to delve into it.
Because they're learning just like we are.
Yeah.
Currently.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree.
But that game would be one of the few games that I would actually, if I ever get a PS4, because I'm going with one first. But that would definitely be.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
It does look like a cool game. Houston, you're next on the news story list. What's going on?
My story is on Shadows of Mordor. I got a nice in-depth look at it, and they're currently showing only pre-alpha code gameplay and videos. Mm-hmm. But for pre-alpha code, it looks amazing.
Yep.
It's like, it's got to be one of the most detailed.
We
beautiful
showed
games
a
I've seen.
showed a trailer to the guys 2 or 3 podcasts back, 2 or 3 weeks back, and I thought it looked pretty good. Chris even noticed it. I noticed it. It looks a lot like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, that's what everyone's been saying.
Yeah.
The one of the, I think it was lead art directors, maybe, is now working on this game from the Assassin's Creed. So
Oh yeah.
they might have taken some assets, but I mean they're open assets, so I mean, like the climbing physics and stuff is it's all there. But the thing that I saw was all about this Nemesis engine that they've implemented, which is where the game adapts to how you play it. So if someone from one of the missions you play survives an attack, like
Right.
one of your targets survives, you can come across them later on in the game, and most likely will come across them, and say you shot them with an arrow or you burn their face. The next time you see them, they will remember the fact that you would either shot them with an arrow or burn their face,
Right.
and they will have physical features denoting that had happened to them, and they'll remember it, and then the skill level will advance according to what
pretty
you
cool.
did.
It's pretty cool.
So.
I mean, I'm really excited for that game. I think it gets a lot of hate because it looks like Assassin's Creed and an Assassin's Creed ripoff.
It looks cool.
It's a game,
Yeah, it's a game.
so
It's
and
Lord of the
Assassin's
Rings.
Creed is not a bad game. It's not a bad series, so it runs well. So why not use those?
Yeah, and I mean, climbing a building's climbing a building.
Yeah. There's only so many ways you can climb.
You
a
can
building.
climb a building, yeah.
Yeah.
And they gotta make it interesting when you do it, make it look good, so.
Yeah, I agree. Cool. Now, what about multiplayer? We were just talking about how there's no multiplayer for the Order 1886.
Yeah,
What about multiplayer?
so far they have said that they're not doing any kind of multiplayer because it won't be needed. So. That's not saying that they won't come in with a expansion for
Right.
multiplayer or something like that, but
I think the multiplayer in Shadow of Mordor will be like a leaderboard kind of thing,
yeah.
where you can compare stats, stuff like that. A lot like Assassin's Creed 4, where you can have friend events. Like if you discover a white whale, it'll send out an alert to all your friends. Like you can go discover this white whale and kill the white whale now.
Yeah.
The Great White
Or
Whale.
like a warning type thing,
Yeah.
like, oh, I saw a ring wraith. Let's
Right,
not
I
go
think
to
it'll-
this general
yeah.
area for a while.
Right.
Type deal.
Something like Shelob was spotted. Because Shelob is in the mountains of,
More.
I guarantee,
It'll-
they gotta have Shelob in there.
And I mean, with the whole, they'll probably have the whole ghost army in it too.
Oh,
because
yeah.
you're
Yeah.
part wraith. So
Yeah.
I bet that'll be.
That game's gonna be good.
It's gonna be great.
I love Lord of the Rings. So I think that game's gonna be awesome. Multiplayer,
And your character, just from what I could tell from the video, you have a broken sword.
Here's the thing.
And
Here's what I think. I think this game is a whole prelude story to one of the Ring Wraiths. I bet it's either the Witch King or something.
Or one of the other ones.
Or one of the other ones. One of the
Or
ring
the
wraiths.
Necromancer, possibly.
Ooh, maybe. So I think that's what it will be, because that's I don't know how it would fit within the story,
Yeah.
but it's a standalone story.
Yeah,
It's
and
it doesn't,
I mean, as far as I can tell, there's not going to be any characters
right,
from
the movies,
yeah.
except Sauron.
or the games. Yeah.
I mean,
or
because
the
obviously,
story. But yeah, it's supposed to be a prelude, but
yeah, prelude,
who knows?
but epilogue of The Hobbit.
yeah,
it's in the
it's in between. Yeah.
whatever.
But yeah, like I said, Broken Sword kind of looks a lot like Narsil.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
who would use
I mean,
Narsil? It's sitting, unless he finds it,
Unless he finds it, yeah.
and then brings it back to Rivendell, gives it to Elrond.
Yeah. I mean, there'd probably be a reason.
Because obviously Narsil's in Rivendell.
Yeah.
Because they
find
reforge it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But we'll just have to wait and play the game.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Logan, you have our next news story. What's going on?
It's with Nintendo, of course, because it's the only company I pay attention to, next to Sony. And the Nintendo founding family sold over $1 billion worth of stock back to Nintendo, which is an estimated 7.4% of the company. And I think this is probably... they didn't say why they did it. This is probably linked to the sales projections of the Wii U, though. They own 7.4% of the company. The company's not doing well. They want out.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Nintendo's going so far down.
It's not looking good.
It's not looking good at all.
I mean, of course, Nintendo stocks did jump after they did this, but still, I mean, why?
Yeah. So what do you think's going to happen?
I don't know.
What do you think Nintendo's going to do? Because they've already come out
Obviously, they just bought,
with their whole... They came out with their whole plan of they're going to market more towards kids. And
which I think is a bad idea.
Bad choice.
it
A
is.
bad choice. What do you think, Chris? Should
What?
Nintendo focus more on little children or less?
Not at all. They need to move with the
Times.
the generation that is actually gaming, which is our generation.
I agree.
Yeah.
They need to focus on late teens, early 20s.
Now, the games, I mean, I know little kids are playing games these days. We talked about this.
They need to have games for everybody.
Yeah.
Then they need to have like their core
They don't need
games
to isolate
Yeah.
kids.
for some people.
They don't need to focus solely on kids.
Right.
And I know kids play games, but the majority of the games I'm seeing, people who are 13 and younger playing are like tablet games, like Temple Run. They're not always
Yeah.
focusing on consoles. I mean, they play console games, don't get me wrong. But
It's like Call of
Flappy
Duty.
Bird.
Call of Duty or
Flappy
Bird.
Bird,
They're playing
yeah.
like Angry Bird type
Forget
games.
that.
They're not the main force driving consoles people our age and older are. So they need to focus more towards that.
Right. So, but what about games like... Okay. I'm going to use Sony as an example, because Sony, I feel, does this very well.
And
They
do
market
everything very
towards
well.
everybody.
Yeah.
Like, they have games like
Little Big Planet.
Little Big Planet. That's for everybody. Any age
It's a
can
game
enjoy that.
It's a game a little kid can play.
Yeah, a little kid can play it, but everybody enjoys it. But also, then you have a game like The Last of Us.
Which little
That-
kids should not play.
Anybody under the age of 15 should never play that game.
Yeah.
Well, until they're mature enough to really play that game. But then, I mean, they have that. Nintendo is just focusing on the kids.
They are stuck in 1992.
Yeah,
They're stuck in Mario's or they're stuck.
Mario. Yeah, they're stuck in
Yeah.
Mario.
They're stuck in that whole universe. They need to.
And it's
get out of
great.
it.
And they don't need to kill it off, but they need to bring more in. I think they should come up with a new platformer.
And they
A
try
new-
to.
A whole new story, not Mario
not
related
connected
at
to
all.
plumbers. Not at all complex.
Well,
But 'cause I like platformers though. I'd like to play a Nintendo platformer, just
Yeah.
not one that has anything to do with Mario or any other Nintendo character.
or a good side scroller, anything like that.
Yeah.
Nintendo did try to make a more mature game when the Wii U first released. It was Zombie U.
Yeah.
Which I hear was bad.
It was
It
terrible.
was terrible.
It was. Bad.
I've watched some of that.
Yeah. But then they have games coming out like the HD remake of Wind Waker. And
Which
adults
I'm sure a lot of
love
people-
that game.
Yeah, because they grew up with
Yeah.
Yes,
Zelda.
but again, that's just a remake of a game they made a while ago. They're not coming
Yeah.
out with new content.
I mean, personally, if they can revamp all of their original series games and make money
off-
that way, just to get them back on their feet until they can come up
Yeah,
with
but
something
that's a
that's worth it.
short-term solution to a long-term problem.
I mean, look at Mario Kart coming out in May.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 8, I think. 8, 7.
Something like that.
Something like
It's
that.
It's a
7 or
big
8.
number.
But they don't
Yeah.
need to
That
kill
also
those games
shows how
off.
ridiculous that is.
Yeah, but still, it'll sell millions of copies
Oh,
because
yeah.
everybody
Yeah,
likes
everyone
Mario.
loves Mario Kart. Yeah.
Super Smash Brothers when the new one comes out.
That would be
That's going to be the one Wii U console seller.
Yeah.
Because everybody's going to be like,
That's the
oh
only
man,
game.
I remember this on N64.
in my college days, because I've heard this story a million times. Back in my college days, I used to go into my friend's dorm room and just play Super Smash Brothers with him. I used to come home from high school after class and
Play Brawl.
play Brawl
Yeah.
all the
I have
time.
never played
we
Brawl.
had Brawl tournaments,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I never played it because I was never a huge Nintendo person. I was more into their mobile stuff, but
I played the original.
Whatever.
I mean,
Yeah.
just like I played GoldenEye, which, like I said, they should do.
Epic. They redid GoldenEye. They can redo it again, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, do it just for Nintendo. Make it a...
Yeah. I mean, it came out on the
exclusive.
Wii before it came out on the other consoles, but still.
That'll
You know,
sell games.
yeah.
Make all of these classics, if they revamp them, make them exclusive just to Nintendo.
right.
That'll
Yeah.
make people be like, oh, well, if I
But
can't
do
get this
you
on
think
PlayStation
that the
or
founding
Xbox.
family would have sold $1 billion worth of stock back to the company if Nintendo was doing well? No, because it's making them money.
Right.
Well, if Nintendo's not doing well, where are they getting
And
this
plus, that's $1 billion
$1
in their pocket.
Yeah, it's
Well,
$1 billion.
Nintendo
spending
had,
money.
yeah, exactly. But Nintendo had, from one of the articles we read recently, they have like $10 billion in the bank of just unused capital.
Then why don't they put this into development for a new system or something to pull them out of the hole that they're in?
Of course, they still
They don't want to. They still believe in the Wii U. Why, if they have so much production going on for this current console, why go spend a lot of money on developing a new one?
Or why spend all this money on
which is my
buying
next
back
news
from
story, actually.
the family?
Yeah.
Why not just be like, all right, you can keep your
Yeah,
stock
but the
since
family
you know,
offered
we're
to
going
sell
to
it.
succeed. But
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
it's crazy.
It's a losing
Everything
battle.
is crazy with Nintendo right now.
All right. Well, let's move on. Let's move on to a little bit of hacking news. Earlier this week, the trademark for Watch Dogs was labeled as abandoned by the United States trademark office, right? So where all the trademarks go, and they're legitimized copyright, blah blah blah. It was posted as abandoned, and from a letter from I think the CEO of Ubisoft, signed by him, saying they were going to abandon it. Ubisoft came back, said they were hacked. They had no intention of canceling Watch Dogs, and it's still in development. It's going to be releasing probably in April, maybe May. And now it's back online. The trademark is back. So what do y'all think of that? A hacking game getting hacked.
Getting hacked. Well, first off, I think Ubisoft needs to work on their security.
Well, but I'm wondering how they actually got the guy's signature on the document.
most documents that are sent out web-wise all have that printed sign on
So
it.
you
He
can
signs
be
it
like-
into the computer and it just puts it on
Oh.
everything. Like, say you receive a letter from the school or your college or whatever. It's got either it's actually hand-signed, which I highly doubt, or it's printed from a source
Right.
handwritten thing.
So, since this is all, absurd, and it's news that they got hacked and it got canceled for like a day. Everybody was believing that Watch Dogs was actually going to get canceled. If it was canceled, your reactions, what would you think? If Watch Dogs, because I was thinking about this, if Watch Dogs was canceled,
I actually would not really mind, honestly. I wasn't looking forward to Watch Dogs too much, but I would actually also like to throw in there that's, this kind of sounds like a likely story. If I had made a decision, if I owned a company that was a gaming company and made a decision that I regretted, I might want to come out and say, oh, hey, we were hacked.
yeah.
But, I when I first saw stuff about it, I got really hyped about it because it's like Assassin's Creed set in this time. And
Yeah.
you're hacking stuff. Mm-hmm. You're basically a vigilante.
Well, there's story elements in Assassin's Creed 4 that ties everything to Watch Dogs. Yeah.
So, if it got canceled, I really wouldn't be out that much because I didn't invest because they keep delaying it.
I would think that Watch Dogs, if it was canceled, it would be one of the biggest tragedies
Yeah,
in gaming history recently.
people have been looking forward to it.
People have been looking forward to it. They showed off so much stuff for it at E3 and other gaming conferences. I even have a poster of it on my wall. And if it was canceled, like nothing, I mean, that would be a piece of gaming history.
It would be.
Yeah, the game that never was.
The game that everybody was so hyped for, not coming out.
I think that when they postponed it, a lot of the hype kind of faded
People
away.
were... that was a huge news.
Well, yeah, it was huge.
Yeah, I mean, people were
major
like,
news.
oh,
That was one of
well.
the games I was considering getting at launch to balance out Battlefield. But once it was postponed, I kind of lost demand. I think
Right.
demand went down a lot.
So you're not interested in anymore. What about you? Are you
I mean, if it comes out, great. If it doesn't, I mean, I'm not really going to be out
right?
anything.
Chris, what about you? Are you hyped for it? Not?
I was never really too hyped for it. It really just looked like another GTA style
Right.
type thing.
But it's on next gen consoles.
Well, yeah, I
Now
just
it's
wasn't too
current.
impressed
GTA.
by the mechanics.
It also third gen, right?
I know. I thought it looked pretty.
I don't know.
I thought it looked pretty. I thought the gameplay was kind of cool because I mean you can go up and hack somebody's bank account and see all their information and kind of cool.
GTA came out
Also,
for
it-
this current gen, right?
Yeah.
It could
Last
be
gen.
a.
So no PS4s.
No,
Okay.
No.
not yet.
Also, I mean, if they wanted to postpone it more, because it could be a possible, anonymous training ground, that would be a problem.
Well, I don't think it's that. I think it's just like hit square to hack this person's bank account. I don't
Oh,
think
that'd
it's
be-
like
Let the man
here's how
dream.
you really.
Let's go into this.
Here's the app you can. Here's the link for the app you can download to hack this person. I have it all easy. No,
Yeah,
it's not like that.
No, it would be hilarious if it was.
No, it would be
If it was a anonymous program that was going to allow gamers to actually do their work for them and
That
make them
would-
think it was a game.
That'd be a good movie.
It would be.
It would be a good
The
movie.
Twilight Zone episode.
I still have a pre-order down for it. Granted, it's only $5.
Get your
down.
$5 back
Yeah.
now.
I'm thinking about just switching that over to like Elder Scrolls Online, just because I don't think Watch Dogs is going to come out anytime soon.
Yeah, it's $5. It's just gonna be sitting there.
And even if it does, I still want to play it. I still want to play Watch Dogs if it comes out.
If is the operative.
And I will,
Term.
because I'm a gamer and I like to buy games anyway. So even if they're terrible, like Killzone. So
Are you gonna trade it in?
I'll spend money on Spend money on it.
Are you going to trade in
Am I going
Killzone?
to trade in Killzone?
No, he's not gonna trade it in yet.
Oh no,
No.
you said he was
PlayStation.
considering.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
You're not
I'm
going to.
Nope. I'm not
I have
going
a hard time believing, but okay.
I'm halfway convinced to trade it in.
For what?
Thief.
Thief.
Yes.
You're probably going to enjoy Thief.
Yes.
I'll,
It'll be
I'll never play through Killzone again. Ever.
It's really just taking up space then.
I've gotten 30 minutes into the story and I just can't get by that 30 minutes. Just because,
I hate it when you can't get the pie, man.
I know, pumpkin,
The
apple,
pie is a
can't
lie.
get it. But the buy,
Yep.
let's move on. Chris, what's your next news story?
Sorry about taking your train and just kind of pushing it off the tracks there. But
Rough segue.
That was a rough segue, yes. Let's go on.
We'll take it.
my next story is about the new 3-year cycle that they've announced for the Call of Duty games. They've added a new developer, Sledgehammer Games, along with Treyarch and Infinity Ward. And they will now, each developer will now have 3 years to develop their game rather than 2. So hopefully this is them kind of acknowledging the fact that Call of Duty is kind of a copy and paste type deal
Been like
nowadays.
that for years.
And here's what I'm afraid of.
Since Modern Warfare.
Here's what I'm afraid of.
First one.
I'm afraid they'll have this 3-year thing and just make it another copy and paste game.
A 3-year copy and
Yeah,
paste.
if it's a 3-year copy and paste, but now they're like, oh, now our game runs at 80 frames per second. Like,
Oh, and you've got 2 dogs
and you got 2 dogs. Yeah, like,
that do
no.
nothing.
You can now carry
I
a
don't-
shotgun with your penis while you have 2 pistols and
I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5 was in development for 3 years, 3 or 4 years. That's great, you know.
It was a big
Worth it.
disappointment.
But the multiplayer was a big disappointment.
Oh, no, wasn't
The story was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Duke
the story
Nukem?
was
How long was
okay.
Duke Nukem in
20
development?
years. Duke Nukem was in development
Duke
for
Nukem was in
10.
development for 10, 20 years.
And the Alien Colonial Marines was at least
8
5,
years.
8 years. So just
Duke
because
Nukem
they're
was
going to
good,
develop
though.
it longer doesn't mean it's going to be a better game.
I love Duke Nukem.
So, what do you think they're going to do to combat this?
I don't know.
Copy.
Sledgehammer Games, I'm really wondering what they will throw into their game. You know, obviously, Treyarch's kind of side thing that they do is zombies. Infinity Ward just started doing Extinction with the aliens and all that, which I wasn't impressed with. But
Zombie
Sledgehammer is totally out of the blue for me. I don't know what they'll do with their game. I don't know how long they've been working on it.
3 years.
Have they?
Yeah, they opened.
It's very surprising
They
to
opened
me
3
that
years
they've
ago.
kept it quiet for this long, that Sledgehammer was developing.
Who are they?
Sledgehammer opened. The news was when
Obvious.
Sledgehammer opened,
Sledgehammer.
but they were just an Activision company.
Oh.
So we didn't really know what they were working on. But now came out that they're working on.
What's
Well,
Sledgehammer
hopefully we'll
done?
see details on it at E3 because
Oh, yeah.
we don't even know the name of the game.
We'll hear about it before E3.
You think so?
Yeah, Call of Duty.
Black Ops 3.
Call of Duty always
Modern
has
Warfare
its own
7.
press conference. You know,
I mean, it won't be a Modern Warfare or a Black Ops title,
No.
obviously.
what
So,
will it be?
I
Arctic
haven't-
Warfare.
Arctic Warfare.
Ice Age,
Been one
Ice
game.
Age, caveman, riding a mammoth into battle.
You know what would be cool is some kind of like ancient warfare.
Yeah, I told you it was gonna be Call of Duty Lumberjacks. It's gonna be you're a lumberjack and you
Yeah,
gotta
they've
compete
worked
with the other lumberjack
Mongolians versus
companies.
So-
Chinese.
The only thing that Call of Duty, or that Sledgehammer's done is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
According to Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Sledgehammer did Modern Warfare 3?
Yeah,
That's what
it
it
says
says.
that they did it with
They
Infinity
probably-
Ward.
They probably assisted with it. That's when they opened, right?
Okay.
They probably assisted with finishing up
The
Modern
two
Warfare
games
3.
that
So
has
they don't have
listed-
any other games below their belt
No.
besides the Call of Duty game.
Right.
So we could just get more of the same.
Yeah.
We could. We might not. I don't know.
Do you think how long does it take to develop a Battlefield game? 2 years?
They have it
A
on
good
two-
one?
They have.
One-
Hey man,
one-
Battlefield 4 is a good game.
It's a great game.
Oh,
It
he
just,
mul-
said.
What?
I said. He said.
but
I haven't
it's
seen
2
a
years,
good
right?
Battlefield game since the first one. Or Bad Company 2.
Bad Company 2 is amazing.
Since the first Battlefield game,
Or Bad Company 2.
Battlefield 3
Battlefield 2
was
was good.
So is 3 and so
I
is
like
4.
Battlefield and then Bad Company 2. That's the
Bad
only
Company
two
was
I
good.
liked.
Bad Company 2 was good.
Listen to the Vietnam expansion. That was
Battlefield,
amazing.
yeah, Bad Company 2 Vietnam was amazing.
Like, I baited Battlefield 3 and it
Battlefield
instantly
3
killed everything I thought about Battlefield.
It was okay.
Well, and then the
Four
whole
is-
story
four
from
is
Modern Warfare
way
killed
4
it.
is way better.
4 is way better than 3.
I don't really like the whole modern-y warfare games.
Oh,
they're-
really?
You don't get that
it's
feeling
not-
for Battlefield, really. Though.
It's,
I mean, it's
to
more,
me, it's way too fake.
I
For
get
a
the way
modern,
fakeness thing from Call
realistic
of
game.
Duty.
Have you played Battlefield?
Call of
4?
Duty feels futuristic,
I mean-
even when it's modern.
World War III in America
mean-
with Russians. Come on.
Have you
It's
played
very
it, though?
fake feeling,
Modern
but
Warfare.
I feel
No,
like Black
Battlefield-
Ops
Battlefield
2 did
4.
it right.
I don't have
Well,
the
Black
next
Ops 2
console.
was in the future.
I just know that
After the
it's.
Was it?
podcast,
Yeah.
we're
Well,
gonna
they
have
did
to
it
let you
right.
play it. Alex,
But like
after the podcast, we're gonna make you play Battlefield 4.
Sure.
He's
I
never
just-
played.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't like those kinds of
It
games.
came out for 360.
I prefer something that's never possibly going to happen because
So you like the Halos and
I mean, obviously,
Well, we know you like Halo,
yeah,
but
Halo,
the Black Ops 2.
Skyrim.
How about Black Ops 2?
I
It's in the
didn't-
future.
I didn't really care for Black Ops 2. I thought. I mean, I didn't care for Black Ops itself either.
I like
didn't
Black
either.
Ops 1.
I like the multiplayer. And that was about it. That's the only thing I really like about the Call of Duty and Battlefield games is the multiplayer.
Right.
But
Until
don't
you
buy,
get
you
the
don't
little
buy
6-year-olds.
Battlefield for the story.
No,
Although the
see that's
Battlefield story-
another thing.
It's not bad.
I buy
It's not
games.
bad.
I buy games for the
It's
story.
good.
If the story's good, I don't really care about the multiplayer. But
Right.
if
The
the
story-
story is crap, the multiplayer better be really good.
The story is actually quite decent for Battlefield 4. I was impressed.
That was the only reason I got Modern Warfare 3 the first time. I played 5 minutes of the story and then played multiplayer.
Do you remember when we graduated high school? And it was graduation night, and it was like the project graduation in the high school.
And I was
we
not
stayed in there
there.
all
And we
night.
played-
You and me played Call of Duty Modern
Yeah.
Warfare 3.
Yeah,
And I killed you like 10 times in like the first 10 seconds.
yeah,
That was great.
I remember that.
Then you came back and destroyed me because I don't play 360. But
It's like I don't know what the controls are.
I was like, oh, triggers. Oh, this is
Oh, there's bumpers too. What? But yeah, I that's the only reason that I would buy the new Call of Duty games for the multiplayer. I have just been killed by their storytelling. It's terrible.
So let's move on to our next news story, though.
Yeah.
What's your...
Titanfall, the beta for PC and the Xbox One, they're debating whether or not you actually need a pre-order for it. They said that you might not need one. They haven't really decided. It got postponed, apparently. Found out
For the
today.
360.
For 360. I don't know why. Maybe it's some sort of either frame rate or
They blamed
graphics
it.
issue.
They didn't blame it. They said that it was for the developer of the 360 version to take more time to work on it. Because Respawn Entertainment is working on the PC and Xbox One version, while like I want to call them Blue Point. I think that's the wrong name for the developer, but it's a second developer working on the 360 version.
So they're basically making two different games.
It's
One
the same
current
game,
gen,
same engine, same everything.
just different graphic style.
Just different graphics, yeah.
But
Chris is doing 90 things with the pillow.
it still looks like a beautiful game.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of the 360 video of it. I've just seen the Xbox One and PC videos. But if they can make it look like current gen on
360.
I guess you'd call it past gen now.
Yeah, last gen. Current gen.
We're kind of in a middle zone where both
It's
are
hard.
Yeah, both are current. They're still making games for both, but
So
if it looks
There
as
isn't
good,
really a major PS3 game coming out that I can think of, except Kingdom Hearts 2.5 HD.
And when is that coming out, sir?
never.
Later this year.
Sometime, maybe.
Probably.
Potentially.
It's going to be later this year.
I'm sure you're going to get it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
You don't
Kingdom
have a PS3. Are you going to get it?
I bet they'll port it over to PS4 at some point.
I wish. I hope they do a whole, like, the Kingdom Hearts series collection.
Speaking of that, random
Are they going to
little
launch that?
side thing, Fable. They just released an
They
entire
did.
trilogy
They
and
did.
an anniversary version for the first one.
I heard that the first
That
one
was
doesn't
Xbox,
hold up
right?
very well.
The anniversary or the
On the anniversary edition, Fable 1 doesn't hold up very well. Like the controls and everything.
Oh yeah, I bet because it came out on Xbox and you
Yeah.
only had you didn't have the bumpers and you didn't have
Right.
That
Yeah.
So
you had the white and black button at that point, which I think they probably ported into the bumpers, which is going to confuse people. But it looks good.
the PlayStation Now.
Yeah.
When's that launching?
Summer.
Summer. Okay.
So I think
So
probably June.
would you be able to get a new game that came out on the PS3 for your PS4 through PlayStation Now?
I don't really know.
They haven't said anything.
They
about
don't.
it, so.
They don't have much details except what systems it's going to be on.
Because I mean, like if that was possible, Chris could play that Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts 2.5 HD
Yeah.
on his PS4, but we don't know if it's possible or not.
No. It might be very
That'd be cool.
Well, might
Comes
be.
out summer, it gives me time to get the Xbox One, get used to it, and get the PS4 and really suck at it when PlayStation Now comes
Hey,
out.
man.
How about you get the PS4
that would be-
first? Because it's $100 cheaper.
Because they're probably going to end up doing a price drop by the time I get the Xbox One,
Maybe.
How soon are you going to get the Xbox One?
whenever I get my money back.
Which will be
Month, 2 months.
They won't. They won't,
They won't drop the
do a
price by
price
then.
drop until at least next Christmas.
Probably next Christmas.
Well, I'll get but
$100. That's 2 games,
Hey,
man.
I want to play Dead Rising really bad.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've heard Dead Rising's alright.
really bad.
I've heard it's decent.
It's just Dead Rising. Go
it's
in,
zombies.
crush as many zombies as you want until you get
with
tired of it.
some
That's
crazy
what I love doing.
weapons.
Oh,
that,
yeah. You get a canoe paddle with a chainsaw on the end of it. Come
yeah,
on.
that's pretty sick.
Or a
You like
chainsaw
Gears
with a
of War,
canoe
don't
paddle
you?
on the end of it.
Yeah, or a chainsaw.
Why not?
Or a chainsaw where the blade is made out of canoe paddles.
That so it's like a
That
paddle
sounds like a
boat
smack
weapon.
cam video.
I mean, you can upgrade. I saw a video of a guy driving one of those giant field tillers down the street,
Oh my
Ah.
god.
just mulching everything.
That's awesome.
That sounds disgusting, but okay.
It looked really, really bad, but it would be something fun to do.
It's not my kind of game.
And the multiplayer for that's leaderboards. How many zombies you've
Yeah,
killed, and
that's cool.
there's achievements for that too.
I'll eventually get an Xbox One just because I need one. But
Because I didn't need it.
well, I do.
I may not. It depends, really. If there's any games coming out for the Xbox, I just have to have it. I'll get one. But
Yeah. I just don't. Here's my problem with having 2 game systems.
you already have 2 game systems. I mean,
I don't like having to think about buying more games because I already buy a lot of games for the PS4 and the PS3. Thinking now about all the exclusive games coming out for the Xbox
See,
One,
that's what I was thinking.
I'm thinking I'm gonna have to spend so much money.
you're gonna have
get
to save money
all these
somewhere.
games.
What I was thinking about doing, I was actually walking around the store the other day looking, just get the exclusives for both game systems, and then get used to the exclusives, see which system I like better,
And then buy the
and then
third
pick
party.
whichever third party games that I'd like for each.
I would always probably stick with Sony because I like the controls
You like the
better.
controls better, yeah.
But
Have you held an Xbox One controller yet?
I do
How
want
is
to
it
play
compared to-
Titanfall.
So compared to the 360 controller, how is it?
It's ridiculous. There are so many more vibrations or rows in it.
Like, how's it feel in your hands, though? Like, does
Like,
it feel
alright.
as good?
It feels a lot. Feels a lot like this, kind of.
It's not that small though.
Like the feel. No, it's not. The hand guard thing comes all the way back to like here, and it's like it seems a lot bulkier, but when you start pulling the triggers and you start messing with it, it's really awesome. Instead of being a top rounded, you see like on a PS4 controller, the top of the sticks are rounded. These are
Like that?
Yeah, these are
Crack! Oh no, my PS3 controller! Buy me a new one because that one's broken anyway.
these are indented, so like you can get a good thumb grip on
That's
them.
like a PS4 controller.
I don't know.
So-
no, this one's like a big
Oh, okay. Well, he
yeah.
was using a DualShock 3 as an example. If you want
Yeah.
to know.
But, and like when you pull the triggers, it's got, I guess you'd call it a sensitivity vibration. Like the more you pull it, the more it vibrates. So say in a shooter, if you're firing a single round weapon, like semi-automatic, pull the trigger once, and it just vibrates once. You put it on 3-round burst, you pull the trigger once, it'll fire 1 shot. You pull it a little harder, it'll fire 3 shots, and you'll feel 3 vibrations. You'll feel the vibrations of every shot being fired in
That's
that
pretty
controller.
cool. That's pretty cool. I've heard not Motorstorm, it's a PS3 game.
Oh.
Forza Motorsport. I've heard that you can feel like the road.
Yeah, you can feel the
trigger.
rivets in the road.
That is
and
cool.
you can feel your tires. If your tires get low, you can feel the vibration in the controller where that tire's low.
That's cool.
Like the servos go all the way back into the hand. So
That's cool.
We're going to come back next week, and Alex is going to have an Xbox One. He's going to have Forza. Logan, you've got to try this. It's amazing.
feel this, man. My back right tire's low. My right hand's going numb.
Let's move on. Logan, what's your next news story?
And this is not really a news story. It's an opinion piece written by Eric Kane, a contributor to Forbes magazine. And he says that he thinks Nintendo's next system should be a hybrid between a console and a handheld system. And the rumors about the Nintendo Fusion are kind of the same thing, right?
Right.
But he uses it as an example. My mind's not working. The Vita and the PS4, how they interact with each other.
yeah.
Of course, now if it's one system, you won't have that. It won't be two systems
Right.
working together. He says that Nintendo's Iwata says that they should act like brothers next generation. What are you looking at?
Keep talking.
Yeah, keep
we're,
talking.
we're listening.
Okay. Nintendo's Iwata says that the two should act like brothers, handheld and console. What were you doing?
Nothing. Go ahead.
But yeah,
doing
they should act like they should be synchronous with each other.
Yes,
they should
of
work with
course.
each other, talk to each other,
Yeah,
be friends.
And really,
have a good time.
That's all there is to the story, but you can discuss that a lot. Do you think it's a good idea to have a handheld and a console? Yes. What about you? Do you think it's a good idea? Because it's not really a news piece; it's an opinion.
Yes,
Houston thinks it's a great idea.
I love the Vita and the PS4, so I think it's a great idea. Can Nintendo pull it off?
Probably not.
No.
Well, I mean, with the Vita and the PS4, they're two separate systems, but they are linked. If there's a fusion, it's the same system that does two things. That's a different ideology, really.
It's almost like a Google Glass, right? Or Smart Glass.
Smart Glass with Xbox.
I mean, what would that be like? Plugging your DS into a dock to play through your TV?
Sony has the PS4
I mean, they
remote
did that with
play
Game
and
Boy.
stuff like that.
With the GameCube, the Game Boy and the GameCube were
Yeah.
connected.
I mean, it's the same story, though. This one system, like...
So
Oh, so it's like a standalone system, not connected
Yeah.
to anything.
like you can come home and set it on like a portal, and it's on your TV, and you can
Yeah,
play
but
it.
it's one system,
and then
it's
you
not
can
two.
take it with you.
But it's got
everywhere.
like a portable screen on it.
Problem I have with it is the technology isn't there for console worthy games on a handheld.
Yeah. Also,
It's
he's
not
talking
there
about... he also mentioned how a lot of people, Nintendo fans in particular, are left gameless because there's not enough games available.
No, there's not.
You know, you have a Wii U, but you don't have a DS, and there's all kinds of DS games coming out for
Oh yeah,
the DS,
But
but
you
you
don't
can't
have
play it
the
on the
Wii
Wii U.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, which hasn't happened yet. But
right. And that's what I like about the PS4 and the Vita. I mean, a lot of people aren't buying Vitas. I mean, nobody's really buying it. But the reason people are starting to go out and buy it is because it syncs up with your PS4.
Yeah.
You can remote play with any Wi-Fi connection. I could go on UK's campus and start playing Battlefield 4 on my Vita. You
Like
know,
this Battlefield 4?
yeah, PS4 quality stuff. As long as you have a decent internet connection, you can remote play any game, anywhere, and it's really nice.
yeah,
I mean,
we're still talking about two different systems.
I mean, I won't want to play it because it's kind of cumbersome
Small,
to
yeah.
play it. But games like Injustice, I can play Injustice anywhere.
That's true.
That's fun.
And you can do that on a handheld.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could develop a screen that's, say, about, I don't know, what is that, 4 inches, 4 inches?
Like that?
Yeah, but have it be able to do, you could have it download almost like a cloud type deal where you can get, I guess it would be a separate console, wouldn't it be its own console?
Yeah.
So you could, like, there would be no cartridge, there'd be no
fuse the two
disc.
together.
It would be straight up
Cloud-based.
internet download, yeah,
Yeah.
games.
Well, the problem, they can't do that because internet connections everywhere aren't up to...
True. Well,
Speed
they
for
could
that.
have an Ethernet port on it. They
Even
could make,
then, even
the
then-
micro SD, and then when you plug it in, download your game, you can take it anywhere. Don't have to
Well,
worry
but
about
they
Wi-Fi.
weren't talking about going, removing physical hardware, whatever we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, because Nintendo loves cartridges.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah. I mean, but they were saying is that if they've blended the two, you don't have to worry about not having one, a game coming out for one system and you're not having that system. It was a Nintendo game.
Oh, so you're thinking something like the DS, where you can play
But
games
yeah,
on
but
it
it's
and
it's the DS and it's your main console. They're saying it. This is, of course, it's not Nintendo saying this. It's an opinion piece, but the guy was saying this to be the same system.
That'd be really hard to make work
Yeah.
without making it some sort of huge.
Yeah. The way I
I
see
don't
it,
think it's a great idea.
it should be like
'Cause technically,
I
you're talking
hate
about a
saying this,
PC
but
board.
like it should be like the Skylanders portal, where essentially you have just
You
this
and
little.
Skylanders.
No, I mean it makes sense. You have like this little box that you have your handheld, right? You have your
Yeah.
handheld. You take it everywhere. You come home. You set it on that portal, and the portal is your home console.
And do you have a standalone controller?
Yeah.
It's connected only to the portal.
Yeah.
Okay. That kind of makes sense. And
Yeah.
that would be how they would have to do
It's
it.
the same control scheme as your handheld, so it's all seamless.
And, I mean, they could use the Wii U as a good middle point, like a launching point for that idea, because it's kind of like that.
The Sony has something like this. I hate going back to Sony because they're on it. They're really on it recently. Sony has the PlayStation Vita TV, the PS Vita TV. It's only in Japan right now. You can import it. Essentially, what it is, it's this little white box that you hook up to your TV, right? And it can play Vita cartridges,
Really?
but you can play them with a DualShock 3, right?
Not a 4.
Not a 4. DualShock 3. But you can also remote play. It's essentially a Vita, but for your TV. And you can play it anywhere, and that's cool because you can have your Vita on your TV and then put it in your Vita and go somewhere.
That would be really cool, though.
That's
Think
what
about
they
this,
need to
though.
do.
If you have your handheld like your DS, I'm sure they probably won't leave the DS name for quite some time.
No.
All it means is double screen.
Yeah.
So, like, if you plug your next generation DS into this new console, it could charge your handheld while you're playing it through your TV.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
It's
sense.
fancy right there.
All it needs to do is the standalone home console needs to have its own... Okay, it takes all its hard drive memory from the handheld.
Yeah, I think that would be the idea, wouldn't it?
And whatever you do on the handheld syncs up with the cloud, and you can gain that cloud storage on your home console.
You have to re-download it, though.
No, it syncs. It,
Yeah, it's Phoenix.
Yeah, it would
like
do it
Dropbox
every-
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would work.
Chris is wearing a hat.
I'm merged.
Chris has to go in just a second, so let me wrap up my last news story before we conclude here. The PS4 1.6 update came out. Outlast for the PS4 is free this month on the PS4.
Should I get it?
Yes. Metro Last Light and Payday 2 are coming to the PS3 later this month for free. Metro Last Light you can get right now, actually, for the PS3 for free, if you have PlayStation Plus. Also, the gold version wireless headset has been released. It features 7.1 surround sound, a 3.5 millimeter audio cable, and it has a claim that it will stay charged for 8 hours of straight
And it
gameplay.
retails for...
$99.
Yeah,
That's a
Wow.
bold statement. 8 hours of straight game.
I will probably
Selling
end
it
up
for
buying
$99
that.
is a pretty bold statement too.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get a pair of Beats for what, 300,
Yeah. So, I mean,
and it's the same thing.
Yeah. This has a built-in microphone. It's all wireless unless you want to put the audio cable in like your headphones or your phone or something. Actually, I forgot to mention this. The PS4 update 1.6, right, came out. it enables for past PS3 headsets to work on the PS4. So now if you have the Pulse headset, the Pulse Elites, anything like that, they will work on the PS4.
Yeah,
Wirelessly, everything.
What do you
God.
have?
Yeah. I have a Razer headset.
And it works.
I bought it for $60 a year ago.
And it works very well.
Oh, it works just fine. I plug it straight into the headphone jack. Kind of wish I had a little bit of one that works better with the PS4 itself, like this gold headset, because it's 7.1 surround sound,
Thinking about getting it?
and it's noise canceling. I'm thinking about it.
Me too.
I don't know. You need one.
I still have the crappy, horrible, disgusting, really just terrible headset that came with the PS4. And it hurts to use. You don't get very good sound on it.
Is it the Bluetooth looking thing?
It's disgusting, yeah.
Or is it like the telemarketer headset?
No, it's
Like the Xbox?
I think I
can
have
find
one.
it.
Hold
Right
on.
there?
Where?
Right there. Next to your...
That's
not
next to
Sora,
Riku.
but...
Riku.
Yeah, Riku.
Right next to Riku.
No,
That's
no,
not
it's
smart.
not like
No,
that.
no, no. Where is
It's
it?
I probably threw it away.
Is it like a telemarketer headset? Like the Xbox?
That's not it.
It's just like a standard set of like iPod
Headphones,
Oh,
but it
look
has a
like
microphone in it.
It's only
Yeah,
one-sided
it's
too.
terrible.
It's only one-sided, so it's
It
just
literally,
like
they
this.
should not have even included it.
It sounds
It's
good.
really
It
that
sounds
bad.
just fine. When Logan's talking to me through
Okay,
it,
it's not-
it sounds
it's
just
They
not
fine.
terribly-
echo really bad. If
They
you're
do.
playing through like Call of Duty
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff,
I've
you
noticed
get
that.
bad echo.
I hear myself through
Wouldn't
Logan's
surprise me.
There's
headset all
no
the time.
adjustment of how loud it is either, and that's a huge problem.
Then again, it's free with the content.
If it's all you have, it will work, but
Yeah.
it won't work that well.
If you really want to get something better, you could probably just get your iPhone, whatever headphones that you get with your phone, and just hook it right up in there.
It's
and it
like
works better.
it's like a spare tire.
The
that's not
volume
full-sized.
adjustment is a much bigger problem than people take into,
Account.
account.
You can
because
adjust the volume through the menu.
That's just such a hassle, though.
You
'cause,
press
like,
and hold the
Xbox
PlayStation
360
You just...
was
It's a little scroll
Oh.
wheel.
their headset. Like when you plugged it into the,
Right.
it was just like a little swivel, circly thing, and it was just so simple.
Or you could even mute it with a
Well,
little
I
switch.
will say this: the gold wireless headset has that feature. It has the
That's
little
good.
button on there.
It's
It's a button on the
On
actual.
the
And,
headphones.
Since it's wireless, you don't have a.
And I can
wire
see
to-
it pulled up on Alex's PC screen, and it looks really nice.
It matches the PS4.
It does.
Blue and black.
It should. It should match the
Yeah.
PS4.
my
looks pretty
PC
cool.
matches the PS.
It comes with a microfiber carrying case.
It's always nice. Plush.
Ooh, microfiber.
Yeah.
I
Kind of.
wanna- Why would I want to put it in a carrying case? I'm going to be wearing those things all the time.
Ooh, it's handy.
Hey man, I like those headsets. It looks-
It's
yeah,
nice.
it
I
looks
like
nice.
it.
All right, well let's wrap up here. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 15 of the College Gamer Podcast. I can't believe we've been around for 15 weeks.
I can't believe we were around for more than 3.
Yeah. Hey, and here's for 15 more.
I don't know why I didn't add this in, but I
Yeah.
wanted to let everyone know that since my computer is now here, we will be getting gameplay very
Okay.
soon.
I forgot to mention this. College Gamer now has a YouTube. It now has its very own YouTube. If you go to YouTube and look up College Gamer, we only have one video, and it's the video review of Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. It's being reviewed on the PlayStation 4.
It's not bad.
It's not a bad game. Go check out the video. If you want to have like a direct link, I'll put it on the page you're listening to this on. And that's about it. Just check out the YouTube. We'll have more gameplay. We'll have more video specials on there. More reviews. We're going to set up a video podcast where we have a video going. We'll get that set up probably soon. So go check that out. But as always, I'm your host, Alex Tudor, or if you know me by my legal name, Colin, because I've been told that some people can't find me because my legal name is Colin, because I introduce myself as Colin Tudor. But I go by Alex. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are my friend. You can call me Alex. I don't know. It's just a thing.
Okay.
I don't know.
My
And
name is
this
Logan,
week
and
we-
I go by Logan.
And this week we have Chris Harkins,
Goodbye.
Houston Miller,
See you.
and Logan Sowers.
Peace out.
We'll see you next week.